Hey, how is it going, team Julie? Nice to
Hi,
see you again.
so good to see you.
Yeah. So, Envol, I've heard a lot of good news recently, a lot of progress made. I'm super excited to, catch up with you guys and hear all this progress and share it with our audience for this new interview of the Green Deal. So maybe we start with the introductions. Julie, you want to start, and Tim?
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you,
Yeah.
first of all, John, for inviting us. Like, super happy to be here and to
Be
talk
part of
together.
this beautiful mission that you have. It's really an honor, and we support you also in everything that you spread because it is so needed.
Cool. So we have here Tim, CEO of Envol.
So let's start with introduction. I'm Tim. I'm one of the co-founders. We both founded Envol. And we launched since a year ago, and we've seen just the last months really great growth. And it's very exciting with a lot of cool projects that we are doing. So that's...
Yeah. And I'm Julie, so I founded also the app with Tim, and I'm French, and Tim is Dutch, actually, in case you hear the accents. And yeah, we launched Envol indeed with the desire to really empower people to create a positive change in their life and in their health by giving them the tools that they need every day, easy to use, easy to access tools, so that they can reconnect to themselves, to the nature around them, to just what makes sense, and so they can find true, balance in their life. They can find more energy. They can sleep better, just feel better, so that they can just pretty much just enjoy the life to the fullest.
That's amazing. And I think just looking at my sleep schedule, it really resonates. And when people like me, and my friends live in big cities, it's really hard to really focus on what matter, right? And so we spend a lot of money entertaining ourselves, spend a lot of time on Netflix to try to relax. But is it really the solution, right? And I think this is why you guys are really reshuffling the cards here, by proposing a totally new approach. And it's not consuming more Netflix. It's not drinking more alcohol or maybe taking more drugs. It's actually reconnecting with the nature. And I feel like this is something every citizen of big cities kind of need, right? So, Julie, we were talking earlier about this disease that you see, and that have been kind of taking higher levels during COVID, right? During the pandemic, where people were actually stuck at home in the cities. So, can you share us, where this problem came from, and how did you identify it into your users?
Yeah, sure. So we've really seen over the years that over the past pretty much like half decade that there's a pandemic in the world, that people are just not chronically ill in the sense of like real heavy diseases, but they're just unwell. We really see this. We all know somebody who went through a burnout, who's super stressed at work, who has like back problem, eczema, headaches. It's very rare that we know one person that's like this super fit person. Like we all know like maybe one that does like marathons. We're like, how do they do this?
Right.
But most of us, we're just, and especially people living in cities, we're just like, we just can't catch a break, right? We're just so overwhelmed with work and everything. We can't find that balance, and we can't find that energy. So this is really something that we've seen. There's like crazy data when you look this up, like 6 out of 10 Americans suffer from a chronic health condition. 4 out of 10 Europeans suffer from a chronic health condition. It's insane. Those numbers are really insane. So the market is really big. We're all concerned pretty much. And I think a lot of people just don't really, they know, as you said, like they think just crashing on the couch and watching Netflix and it's going to help because they're resting in a way, but they don't really know what they need to get better. Like what do they crave to find that balance again?
Right.
And then when we came to the concept of the app with this recharge core that really encompasses and shows the health pillars, like pretty much what we need to be healthy, what we need to be nourished and well. When we tell people these resources, sunlight, connection to nature, mental rest, real rest, not just Netflix, mental rest, healthy food and gratitude and sunlight, natural light, all these things, people are like, well, duh, it's like we all know this. There's so many studies that have been done on the benefits of all this. But then if you actually put together a tracker and you tell people and you tell them, well, then how's your day?
Right.
Really, just check.
Right.
They get scores that are very low because they just don't meet those criteria, those
right.
vital needs. They don't meet them.
Right.
And if you do it one day, it's fine. But if you do it consistently over a period of time, plus adding the stress of our modern life, the constant stimulation, the way we live our life that is just not very in tune with our needs anymore.
Yeah.
Then you see it actually explains this epidemic, of people feeling unwell, and also this massive trend of people leaving the cities and just reconnecting to nature, as we were just talking, like opening a farm or just completely changing lifestyles. Also with work, you see so many people in their 30s, they quit their job, their 9-to-5 job, and they become a coach, like a life coach, because they have this need, this craving.
Right. So you see that, I share that too. I think personal experience here, I might take that off camera, but let's see. But I think I considerably reduced my drinking since I started to go to the park in the morning, and I think my best weeks and my best times when I'm the most productive and I'm not that stressed and I don't end up, drinking with friends is when I go to the park in the morning, 1 hour or so. And it's not just doing exercises. I think really like seeing those trees, touching those plants and stuff, it changes something. Right? And if you look back, it's only been a couple of 100 years that most of the population have been concentrated in cities, right? For hundreds of thousands of years, humans have been in the nature somehow, living in small villages, and it's only during the industrialization that we've been put together into those blocks. So obviously, there is something there's a misclick, right? And I'm super excited that you guys are pointing that out and now enabling, I think, 40,000 people potentially to reconnect with the nature after a year. I mean, this is incredible, right? And this is like a massive shift. You guys are onto a holistic mindfulness, reconnection with the nature shift, and this is amazing. So maybe Tim, tell us about that. What have you guys been up to? What's the business model? How is the traction?
Yeah, it's very interesting that you mentioned that you also do this walk now in the morning, like for 1 hour, because like you said, everyone now, it's like there's a lot of office jobs. Everyone is behind their computer. They go in the morning, they leave the home, they go into the metro, or public transport or their car, they go into the office, and there's really that lack of just fresh air, nature, just walking and taking a moment outside. Like we're so much inside.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that you mentioned an hour, we do it personally also. Every morning we wake up, we make a coffee, and we just walk outside here in the little garden nature that we have. And then just 10-15 minutes, and you start your day fresh. You started with natural light, you were outside. This is what your body needs. You feel it right away, like, okay, wow, this is the best way to start the day. Yeah. And we see this also shifting to a lot of people. They start to realize that is it's a lot of times the simple things that are just missing. Like we often look for very complex tools or complex information, but when you really implement those simple habits that we promote with Envol, like going out in nature, getting natural light, getting some mental rest, feeling gratitude, it's very easy. It's free. It's also free. You can just go outside and you don't need to pay anything for it. And we see that shift in people. When we talk about the concept, they are like, oh, wow, yeah, you're right. Like I completely forget about those things in the day and like, okay, I'm going to implement it. And once we see people implementing it, they see a shift. They say like, I feel way more balanced. I have more energy. I start the day way more positive. And that whole shift is actually also going towards companies, because we see, especially within companies, they have big offices. They're all in the cities. They have a lot of work at the moment. People are feeling stressed also because, of course, of the pandemic that happened just before. So people are just working a lot, being a lot inside. And we see that also the companies, and that's a big focus for us now, that we are really actively talking together with companies to implement Envol as a kind of tool for their employees, so that they can track their habits, let's say. Do they go outside? Do they have mental rest? Are they in a state of gratitude? And we see it really picking up. So we are in contact with a few that are really implementing it now, and they just see the benefits. They use it during their day. They use it in the night as well to get just a bit of mental rest after all a stressful day with a lot of meetings, a lot of projects. And it's just a shift also in companies that they see the need for their employees to be more balanced.
Right.
And that is
that's amazing. So you're not only helping people to feel better, you're actually saving money. You're helping them saving money on vitamin supplements, on maybe therapists, and maybe even less day off. So there's a connection with the employee productivity. Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, for sure. We also did a research actually last year to see the effects of Envol, and it actually was proven that it increased 4 weeks of Envol. It increased the productivity of people, so they could handle their projects better. They had more energy at work. They felt better at work, and like you said, that all turns into less sick leave, people more feeling engaged, and also just like a more positive environment at a company.
And I think something very interesting also that you mentioned, John, earlier, that when people feel more full because they're more nourished and they have this balance a little bit more, in place, they are less likely to look for external things to feel the hole they feel inside, right? So people that have like maybe gambling or addictions or that feel constantly the need to be filled with those external things, also with health, this crazy amount of expenditure that everybody has on health stuff, on supplements and all these things. Well, unless you fix this first, your lifestyle and the way you nourish yourself, then there's always going to be this imbalance. Right. And then we see that the more people do that, the more actually they look inward, and they also access that free supply of beautiful things that nature actually gives us. And the more we do this, it's actually, some brands are actually afraid of this because they're like, well, but we can't market our things as much because people they
don't have cravings anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need us that much because they realize that, well, sunlight and being in nature and just doing a little bit of movement is actually so enough for them, you know?
All right, stop please, because I'm gonna just download the app again. Actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm convinced now. So that's amazing. So do you see now we enter that new paradigm? I think post pandemic, this is the recovery, the new world, right? Where everybody talks about sustainability, how corporate are shifting now to be zero carbon, to be more green. But it's actually right. You guys are saying this starts with people, right? It's not just about putting solar panel on the roof of your office. It's actually about people, right? And how they behave with themselves, with the first part of nature, is their own body, and then interact with the nature outside and exposure to nature. And so do you see that this is what's next for you guys in that paradigm? Are you guys going to talk with more corporate? Are you onboarding employees to use the app? Are you guys doing, I don't know, like workshop? Like what's next?
Yeah, I think the B2B is a big aspect. So really talking to companies, but also still B2C. So we're really promoting actively going outside in nature, grounding. So really being in contact, having the fresh air of a park. When it's warm in the summer, to take off your shoes, to just walk in the grass. So that is really like also consumers. We're talking in the app just with notifications. We're sending them newsletters on the benefits, also on tips, how they can implement this in a busy lifestyle. So how to find moments throughout the day. And also we're thinking of workshops next year and inviting people all together to do kind of events and to really experience all together the benefits and
bring that social aspect.
Yeah, bring the social aspects. Maybe it can be in a park and we all take off our shoes and we just go feel the connection with the earth, and we do meditation to really get people to do it actively and that they see the benefits right away, because everyone knows that feeling, when you take off your shoes and you just walk in the grass or you're at the beach or in the sand, right away there's a kind of just release of energy, and you feel so connected and you feel so present. And that is something we really want to share with.
And I think something that's so interesting also is that it's not only giving the information to people that they need this, because also, you know, a lot of companies, and we see this now also with what you're doing, the mission that you're doing, Joanne, of really bringing more of this sustainability, this reconnection to nature and all this. We really see that there's this information, there's this drive, but our mission is to make people feel within themselves why the benefits are so important, that this drive is natural every single day. And it really complements, you know, some other companies' missions, in the sense that we all work towards this greener, more connected to our roots kind of like life, where we can all be just happier.
Right. That's amazing. I want to see you guys here in the park running a workshop for one of my portfolio company. I can't wait to see that happen. So, talking about that, what's the next step? You know, you guys are expanding to new countries. What's the dream? You know, 1-2 years from now, where are you guys going? Do you need any help? Maybe people who will watch this video will be interested to help you guys out in other regions than Europe. What's next?
Yeah, so we're really focusing now to really grow, and we see the growth already in the last months. People more using the app, companies joining the concept, and we're really targeting now growing in the US. So that is one of our big markets. In France as well. Like, we see that in France there's a lot of need for it, and companies and people really connect with the concept. Also, Envol is like a French name, so that really helps. And we're just planning to launch in German next year, to also have that language, and then Spanish countries. So we have now, the app is available in English, French, and Spanish, and we're going towards German then next year. And the fact that the ultimate goal is to really take it global. You know, that really we're globally active. People are using the concept. They're using the method of Envol, just going outside, just reconnecting with themselves, and just like growing it as big as it can be, that everyone around the world just is using the concept.
That's
and
amazing.
I think what could really help us, of course, is like when people have ideas, or working companies, or see that this could really benefit their own employees, or see links with other kind of companies that can really support us.
Awesome. Okay, well, so to anybody watching us, if you want to get in touch with Julie and team, how does that happen? Do you guys want to share contacts here? Do you guys have a Twitter, or what's the best way to reach you guys out?
Yeah, the best way, I think, is just to send an email, so we can share the email
on the video
description.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. Sure. Okay, cool. And also, you guys will be on our Slack group with all the portfolio of Atlas. So yeah, that's one thing for the members who are joining our events, our dinners and stuff in Atlas Society. All right, cool. Awesome to catch up with you guys. Congratulations on the progress, and looking forward to see you guys in more companies, helping more people to get the switch and to get more connected to nature. So yeah, keep it up. It's awesome.
Thanks a lot.